Good morning, world. Day 27 of the Siargao Island Lockdown.
Mommy, mommy, mommy.
Mummy's bringing her breakfast.
Mommy.
What we got here?
Wow, toast.
Mango puddings and a special drink for you.
Good.
This will be a sight to remember. Story sitting here drinking a cup of tea. Beautiful island in the background. Sound of the sea.
That's strong.
Strong tea?
Oh.
We've got a little tea connoisseur on our hand.
Nice water tea.
Would you like some homemade toast?
Yeah.
Which one do you want? This one? Here you go. Can you work your way through that one? Before this lockdown happened, we went to a tea plantation in Thailand, one of our favourite places in the whole country, and Story was drinking the tea there and she really loved it, and that's when we discovered her new love for tea. I'll put a link to the video up here so you can see it. More beautiful memories from our travels before we got here. She's actually run off to ask Mummy for some more apple green tea.
Mommy has got some already.
Ah, she prepared for you.
Water.
Is that your American accent?
Water.
The life of a social influencer, eh? Every picture has to be taken before eating food.
Maybe if it's worth it.
Yeah, thanks for making a lovely breakfast.
You're welcome.
We asked a question the other day about bugs here and flies, and somebody replied yesterday and said that now is mango season and that's when most of the flies will be around. So if this is as bad as it's going to get, like there's only like a couple of flies here, I'm very happy about that.
Your little crab is lying down there.
Mummy's made us a healthy little breakfast here.
It is little mini mango chia puddings, but like instant ones, because normally with a chia pudding you have to let it set overnight or for a few hours at least, but this is just coconut milk, chia seeds, almonds, mango and some banana chopped up.
Yesterday there wasn't a cloud in the sky and now it's completely changed.
I was talking to.
Yeah, that's Mila, she's going for a little swim.
Just like Mommy boat.
Yeah, she's going for a swim like Mummy.
I think they're fascinated with her walking bare feet.
This is a nice scene. Story just made a little tuk-tuk out of the two chairs and now she's driving Papa around.
Let's go.
What do we do?
Need a quarantine pass. So we just had a chat with Mila and she said that they delivered a new quarantine pass to her this morning, and it wasn't very clear, but it seems like they've enhanced the restrictions a little bit more and we may not even be able to go into the village today. But it does seem like they're ramping up the restrictions a little bit up until the end of the quarantine, which should be April 30th. I'm trying to be at peace with it all, trying not to be too worked up about anything because there's nothing I can do about the situation. And we do have to count our blessings that we can actually ride out this quarantine here in this beautiful location. There doesn't seem to be any restriction on swimming in the sea. And all of the people that we've met in the whole 6 or 7 weeks that we've been here have shown no signs of being ill.
All steady to go?
Yeah.
Right, here we go then. Bumpy, bumpy, bumpy. Bumps.
We're home.
We're home. And to go shopping.
We've got tea for you and Mom.
You bought me some chilies?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Thank you for the shopping. See, we can always pretend to go out during quarantine.
Tomatoes.
Yes, please.
We've got some salad.
Are you going to make the salad?
Yeah.
How's the garden
That's your
going?
apple, little lily. There's one little apple plant is coming up. Look at my pak choys.
It's growing. These.
And these are my chilies.
And these.
And my pak choy. And then what Russell gave me yesterday, my spring onions. Yeah?
Can I have some coconut?
You want to have the coconut? Oh, she wants to have the coconut.
Is it nice and cold?
They're warm.
It's warm. Was that a fresh one?
Yeah.
Just came from the tree?
Who gave it?
No.
Who brought it for us?
Marius.
Ah, did you say thank you, Marius?
Oh.
We haven't seen him yet, have we?
Sorry.
You didn't see him, did you?
When we see him, we're going to have to say thank you, aren't we?
No, I'll just do it from here.
We do it
Okay,
from
go on
here.
then.
Thank you, Marius. Marius.
For my coconut juice.
Want to coconut?
Juice.
Wanna have some?
Oh,
Sure.
don't let it spill though.
To this day, I still really don't like coconut juice, but I don't let Story see my face go like ugh or anything because she likes it. And I don't want to pass my dislike of coconut juice onto her. I thought that by now, like drinking some every day or every couple of days, I would have got used to it, but still don't like it. Yesterday's cut vegetables to throw into the compost pile.
Oh yeah, string beans.
High for them. Oh, down low.
What's now? What have you got?
Chia seeds.
We've got some chia seeds already. Yes, sweet potato.
Yes, please, I'd like that. Good shopping. Even Kakamora has decided to join us on the beach. This Kakamora has to be reconstructed everywhere we go now.
It was in the lounge and then he came out here to join the island scene.
So Mila just came back from the village again, and it turns out that we are allowed to go into the village, and actually that pass that she was given this morning was a bit more freedom. She can go back into General Luna and get stock and supplies for this household. So
yes.
We can't go, but she can go.
Yeah. Story's going to need some more peanut butter soon.
Yeah. We've got peanut butter on order, olive oil, things that we can't get in the village. So I said the other day that I was going to share some more footage from the UK, and we have some clips that my other brother, Uncle Cam, sent over, and this is what's been going on in London. Good morning from here in the UK. Jamal has asked us to send a little bit of a snippet of what it's like living here at the moment under our lockdown. It's Easter Sunday at the moment, and we had a nice morning trying to make things a little bit special for these kids because they have been locked in at the time. So we made up a little egg trail for them to follow this morning, and they were very excited about that. Michelle cut up lots of little rabbit's feet for them to follow, which led to little eggs that they can collect in the garden. And we are lucky to have in the garden because obviously there's not much else that you're allowed to do when you're stuck at home. Some social distancing to do here. Shell, pull up. Doing our bit there, trying to keep those distances apart. Shell, where are we off to now?
See my mum and dad
Yeah,
through the window.
through the window. Say hello, Leonie.
Leonie's got a drawing to take to her.
Yeah, so this is how we do our interaction at the moment with grandparents. We'll walk there and wave through the window.
My 1 hour exercise.
This is our 1 hour exercise, in case you're wondering why we're out. People have been drawing rainbows.
More rainbows, yeah!
Wow.
Keep
Which has
looking.
been really good because the kids get to enjoy rainbow spotting on their daily walks as well.
I want
I'm
to
gonna go to the water.
I want to nanny.
I know you do, baby, but you're not allowed.
I want to nanny. Oh no. Nanny.
Who's getting better at steps?
What do you want to do, Leonie?
I want to nanny.
You want to kiss Nanny?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't just yet.
Let me kiss nanny, daddy.
We're not allowed to, baby.
Please, kiss me. More.
What's wrong?
I want to kiss nanny.
You can't kiss Nanny, baby, I'm afraid.
Please, I don't think.
Video, Luna.
Nanny.
Doing our rounds.
How does it feel not being able to hug these two?
We missed them.
Yeah,
Very difficult,
very difficult.
very difficult, but I'm still lucky to have this opportunity to see him outside.
Yeah, this is true. We're lucky we only live round the corner, isn't it? Hopefully one day soon. This is the busy Chingford Mount, which is normally very busy. It's dead at the moment. And just behind us you can see Tesco's and people doing their social distancing while they queue up to get in, keeping their 2 metres apart. And this is the kind of scene you see everywhere at the moment. Very strange. So we're just going to take a shortcut through the park. The council have been very good to keep ahead of things. It's amazing what 2 metres actually looks like, isn't it? There's 2 metres on the floor there as well. There's another little reminder. Messages everywhere. Something that we see quite often now. Wrapping off all the benches to stop people from just chilling in the parks. If you're out here, it's only for your exercise. This is where it's come to as well. The police driving through the parks to make sure that no one's here doing anything unnecessary. On patrol. What that's us back in the garden again. So hope you had a nice little insight into what it's been like here in the UK at the moment. It's not all doom and gloom, but we're hoping obviously it gets better soon. So here we go, big throwback to the guys in the Philippines. Okay, back in the Philippines. So as you can see from that footage, things are very different there. When you read messages on WhatsApp and you get emails from family, it's very different to actually seeing it. And I have to admit, after watching that video, I did feel sad.
Yeah, I did. I actually couldn't talk for a while after watching it because I was so kind of choked up and just seeing Leonie crying, and it was hard to watch, to be honest, because we feel kind of distant from it here because we haven't had that experience of it.
Now, of course, like, the global pandemic is happening everywhere, but the way people are reacting to it is different in every country, and that being the new normal possibly for maybe up to a year or longer. It seems unbelievable that we've come to this.
It's very worrying. And
very.
Yeah, I've had messages from my family saying that the queues to get into the supermarket are 1.5 hours long, like in your car, just waiting in a queue before you can even park at the supermarket. Another friend being stopped numerous times when she's driving by police asking her where she's going, and they're wearing the masks. And now she said that that kind of feels normal.
And I know that we've got a quarantine here too, and we've got police checks and army checks here as well. But the one major difference that I can already feel is the fear of the actual people. We were just talking today with some of the locals, and they were saying that once the community quarantine is lifted and the government lifts all of the legal bans, people will just jump back to normal here because they're not scared of the virus in the same way. But when I see tweets and I read news articles and I see this video and I can see how much fear there is person to person, that is more scary than the virus itself, in my opinion.
I spoke to my mum last night and she was saying that now people are actually wanting to be kept in lockdown and wanting the quarantine procedures to stay in place, and they're wanting to be told to stay at home because they're scared that if they do go out they might get sick.
Yeah, it's like it's no longer just advice anymore. They want to be forced to do it, and they want everyone to be forced to do it so that they follow the rules and that they feel like somebody is taking care of this for them instead of taking care of themselves. And that is very weird, because if you actually think about being told not to touch each other, being told you can't go and sit on a park bench, before would have been just ludicrous. You would have said, oh my goodness, that's like some kind of crazy government like rule. I'll never follow it. And now it's a wish. It's a wish for people. I can't get my head around that. I don't think I ever will. I know that the virus is real, of course. I've lost direct family to it, but I still feel like we should all keep our eyes open and just think carefully about what we're wishing for.
And as much as we feel we've been quite sheltered from the experience that other people might be going through because of the virus level on the island compared to other places, it's important to know that the world is still going on, and we hope every day that things will get back to a normal level where people will be able to travel again without fear.
Any of you guys that have been watching us over the last 27 days will know we've tried to look at the positive side of everything, and I definitely think that I don't want the world to go back to normal, because the world that we had before this pandemic wasn't exactly doing that great anyway. I think that we should use this bad situation to better ourselves, and I think that's already happening. There will be many positive changes after this, but I think we're standing on a very risky point where it could go either way, and all of us as individuals need to think about how we're going to be better after this is subsided and we're not thinking about it anymore. My oldest brother, Uncle Omar, said to me he spoke to some people that were alive during the last war, and they were saying that this is worse than that because you can't see your enemy and you can't even band together and fight it, because really you're not allowed to touch each other. The person next to you could also be an enemy.
It's an invisible war.
It's horrible.
You can't see what you're fighting, and lots of people have the virus but then don't have any symptoms. But there are lots of other illnesses that people can have dormant inside that they don't show any symptoms for, but there's no fear for those, you know, but all of a sudden it's this one that's kind of made everyone fearful. and it's
and social media has spread it really quickly, and we just need to be thoughtful about it all and not let the negative effect of this crisis completely crush everything that the human race has ever built. We were running through like a hypothetical situation this morning saying, after this virus isn't being talked about anymore, how do we heal the fear of being close to each other? And I was like, well, we're gonna have to have this like global cuddle party or something where everyone's just gonna have to, I'm just gonna touch you now because I need to know that I'm not scared of this anymore. That's going to need to happen at some point. I don't think it's going to subside without people just going out there and going, look guys, it's okay to be close to each other again, you know? It's okay to be next to your neighbour without the police being called and all this madness that's been going on.
to be human again.
Yeah, be human. So for now, I think we should all try and focus on the good that can come out of this, all the things that we can learn while we're in this quarantine situation, make use of the time. If you have to isolate physically, don't isolate mentally. Try and talk to people, try and talk to family as much as possible, see how they're feeling. And also try and imagine a day coming soon where we can all just cuddle each other without restriction again. It's crazy that we have to talk about this, isn't it? And that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So I hope you enjoyed that little perspective of the other side of my family's life at the moment. You can follow him on his Instagram handle. You can follow us on Instagram too at 8 Miles From Home.
All right, so it is shout out time.
I'm gonna have to read this one because it's to a whole family.
Yeah.
We've got Douglas, Karen, Joanna, Jessica, Mark, Holly and Emily. Thank you to all of your lovely messages to us. It's helping us stay in touch with what's going on your side of the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we will see you tomorrow for another vlog. Bye.
Bye.
I did a big butt.